The train, for its type, is the most powerful vehicle on land. And the engines of Sodor are the power behind the docks, industries and branch lines that make up the world-renowned North-Western Railway. These are the stories of Sodor. The onset of the spring of 1938 was well received by the engines of Sodor, not just because it meant we could put the unpleasantness of the previous story behind us, but also because the parting of winter meant we could resume working properly. Shipping returned to the island and the reopening of its many industries gave us plenty to do. And my word, we were certainly busy. No sooner we completed one job, there was another two that needed doing. I know it sounds strange might complain that we had too much work, but speaking solely for the nor'easters, we were becoming tired and very irritable. In response to this, Mr. Starr had Alfred temporarily assigned to Sodor. The B-12 took over the express so Gordon could assist us with the goods work. As you can imagine, our number 4 didn't take too kindly to this, but to his credit, he did an excellent job running these newly designated express goods trains, one of which he would collect from the lumberyard.
So then, she says to Adam, if you're so desperate for coal, just park yourself under the chute and I'll tell him to let her rip. Oh, that Kate. What a devilish delight she is. And I think Thomas's got his eye on her, you know.
I do know. Both eyes, I reckon.
Oh well, we were all young once.
Speak for yourself, Matt.
I was.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Ah, Gordon. Hello.
Oh no, wait for it. I beg your pardon, James. For the umpteenth rant about how an express engine like yourself has been forced to pull trucks. I am almost sorry to disappoint you, but I shall refrain from such talk. You'll... What? All right, who are you, and what have you done with Gordon? Ho, amusing, James, but I finally come to the belief that any work is good work for an engine, be it passengers or goods. Mr. Starr told you off again, didn't he? Well, possibly. Is that my train there, Matthew?
Yep. With the exception of the rear 4 trucks, the rest are to be dropped off at Wellsworth.
Where am I to take this quartet?
Crovan's Gate. The shipment is meant for the Skarloey Railway.
What does a narrow gauge line need with that much wood?
They're replacing all the old sleepers on their line.
I see. Sounds simple enough. I shall get underway immediately. Try not to get stuck on the hill, Gordon. Try to spare your guard from giving up his bootlaces. What the? What is this?
It's called a cow, Gordon.
That is not what I meant, Anthony. Oh, don't get your pistons in a twist. I was only teasing. What's it doing here? It probably wandered out of that paddock over there. Well, it can wander right back there. Go on, you! Clear off! I said move it, you blithering bovine! Gah! I can see why you eat these creatures, Anthony. They're too stupid for anything else. All right, settle down, Gordon. We'll work something out.
Well, 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 what have we here?
What the... Henry?
Having a wee problem with that cow, are you?
Nonsense. I merely don't want to be too rough with the beast.
You don't have to be rough, Gordon, just firm.
Oh, and you're an expert, are you?
Watch this. All right, you, on your way.
Yes, very effective. Even more impressive. Good show, Henry.
Oh, shut up, Gordon.
With their engines having failed, the crews decided to have a go at it. After a lot of prodding, pressing and cursing, they finally got the cow back into its paddock by way of the gap in the wall it had obviously used to get onto the tracks in the first place.
You're fine with keeping this quiet, right?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Gordon. Good afternoon, Rheneas. I am so sorry that I'm late. To be honest, Scarloey and I were getting worried. It's not like Gordon to be late, he said. No, it isn't, I replied, going on to add, there must be a very good reason behind it. Well, there is a reason, but I wouldn't call it good. Nothing serious, I hope. No, nothing serious. Do you want to talk about it? I was stopped by a cow on the tracks. A cow? Really? It's so embarrassing. Why would you think that? Because a big engine like me was unable to scare the thing out of the way. Henry also had as little luck as I. Livestock are notoriously stubborn, Gordon. Scarloey and I have had our own run-ins on our own railway. You have? Indeed. Mostly with sheep, and they're just as bad. Even worse. Let's just say if I had my way, the term wouldn't be bird brain. I see. Well, thank you for being so understanding, Rheneas. I feel that much better. Glad to hear. All the same, can I trust you to keep this under your bunker? Of course. Good. Breaking down on that hill was humiliating enough, but if word gets out about this, don't worry, Gordon. I'll stand mum. Oh yes, so will I. Another day dawned on Sodor, another day where Gordon had to haul goods trains with the rest of us. While waiting for the workmen to finish loading his trucks, he and Thomas passed the time by discussing a situation that had occurred in modern-day Ethiopia. It's absolutely scandalous! How can the British government recognise Italy's annexation of Abyssinia? I know! What sort of rubbish is that? The last time one country was invaded by another, it was full-scale war. That may yet happen, Thomas. Hitler and Mussolini are quite chummy, and there are tremendous rumblings in the Pacific theatre. It wouldn't surprise me if the Americans and Japanese were to come to blows. I really hope it doesn't come to that. One world war was too much. You know the old adage about he who lives on hope, don't you, Thomas? Never become a motivational speaker, Gordon. Morning, lads. Oh, morning, Percy. Percy? Say, Thomas, I'm glad I found you. That train of stone I meant to take to Alsborough. What day was that on again? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was Moon Day. What? How do you know about that? I was at the works yesterday when you were talking to Rheneas. Who else have you told? Enough, old chap. What the... Edward? Please tell me you're not going to stoop to their level. I haven't decided yet, Gordon. Until I have. Thomas, where do you want this load of coal? Track 1, please. Your next train is on track 2. Cheers, old boy. I had better get moving. Wait, what? Oh, Edward! It was after this day that I began to believe in karma, as I'm sure my run to the mainland with those cattle trucks wouldn't have gone so bad if I hadn't have teased Gordon. Like our number 4, I was forced to stop beyond Crosby as my way would be blocked by 2 cows. My efforts to shoo them away were just as futile, and before I knew it, I was under siege by the rest of the herd, which proceeded to file through that wretched gap in the wall. Fortunately, the farmer and his dog happened to be nearby at the time, both of whom were quick to wrestle up their wayward cattle. The farmer apologised profusely for this and promised he would have his fence fixed by tomorrow morning. As I set off, my feelings must have matched those of Gordon's and Henry's. Unfortunately, my run-in with the herd would have severe repercussions.
In order to make up for lost time, I sped down the line as fast as I could. Unaware, a coupling on one of my trucks was starting to come loose thanks to the intervention of a curious cow. As I began to climb the hill, the coupling finally gave way. My guard tried to apply the brakes, but for some reason they weren't working. All he could do was jump clear. All I could do was watch the back part of my train slip away. The resulting accident was extremely severe. Not only did Adam suffer extensive damage, his crew would be hospitalized. Mickey responded with all due haste and professionalism. After taking the battered MIDI to the works, he jumped right into an investigation that would make many heads roll. As would be determined, the brake van I had that day was defective due to improper maintenance. The workman responsible for this neglect was subsequently fired. The farmer who owned the herd was slapped with a heavy fine for not maintaining his property, which led to him losing his farm. And finally, I was brought to task for not having my crew inspect the trucks following my run-in with the herd. The middies, I'm told, were saddened when they heard about Adam's accident, and after learning the specifics surrounding it, they were quick to capitalize on this information. Most of the time, they made mooing noises at us. Other times, they would belittle us with remarks about how we were seemingly undone by such dim-witted livestock. But I'm pleased to say the middies would get theirs a couple of weeks after the accident.
Okay, have you got it now?
Yes, Diesel, I have. Take this call to Brendam and then pick up a train for delivery to Carlton. I'm not stupid, you know.
Then how come I've had to explain this to you 5 times?
Oh, stop picking on him, Diesel. Thank you, Reggie.
I'll just get a move on you, dummy. If that coal isn't at the docks soon, Drolloon will be stranded at the quayside.
All right. I'm going.
That engine must have been built with an empty smoke box. We all were, Diesel. Oh, ha, Reggie. Colin teach you that one? Why are you always so cruel to him, Diesel? He might not be the brightest engine in our group. Might not, but he's certainly the kindest. Kindness don't mean anything in business, Reggie. You name one company that's ever gotten ahead by being nice. Sometimes I think you take our rivalry with the Norrises too seriously. Try telling that to Mr. Zorro.
So you haven't seen him? Afraid not, but here comes Colin. I'll ask him. Oi, Colin, you got a moment? Sure, Trevor. What's up? Have you seen a bull in your travels? A bull? Trevor, it's market season. No. I mean one on its own, roaming outside of a paddock. No. Why do you ask? These gentlemen here are farmers. Their prize bull has gone missing and they're looking for him. I haven't seen him, Trevor, but I'll keep my eyes open. Well, if you do see him, take care. There's a reason his name is Thumper. A wild bull on the loose. Not a good thought. He didn't say this Thumper was mad, Colin, but he did say there was a reason he's called that. I wouldn't go worrying about it. Chances are we won't even see the beast. I take it back. Bust my buffers! Look at the size of him! I'll say he must be 800 pounds if he's an ounce. Should we try moving him? You're welcome to give it a go, Colin, but I ain't leaving this cab. There's got to be something we can do. But what? Wait, I've got it! You do? Remember when we had all those refugees come to Sodor? Yes. I remember one of them telling me about this thing they used to do back in Spain to get bulls moving. To get bulls... Oh no. Wait, Colin! Toros! Why is he looking at me like that? Because you just taunted him, Colin. I did, and I don't think he liked it. You think he'll charge? Ah! I'm out of here! Oh no! How could I be so stupid? It was better than anything we did, Colin. What do you think Diesel is going to say when he hears about this? Are you going to say anything, Diesel?
I never thought there'd ever come a time where I'd be left speechless. And that time still hasn't come yet. For crying out loud, Colin, how could you let yourself get scared off by an oversized cow? A bull is a lot bigger and meaner than a cow, Diesel. And you thought a good way to corral the thing was by taunting it? Grrr! Tell me you told Trevor when you ran past the vicarage.
I couldn't see him, so... No, I didn't.
Oh, grease and oil. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Get the station master to telephone the vicarage and tell them where you last saw it. Where are you going? I'll head back along the branch and see if I can find it. At a minimum, I can keep an eye on it. Maybe I can even keep it in place. And how are you going to do that, Diesel? By using my brain and not goad the thing into charging. This is a real mess you've gotten us into, Colin. If the Norrises hear about this, we're in trouble. If Mr. Zorro hears about this, I'm off. Try not to do anything stupid while I'm gone.
Is it bad that I kind of want him to fail?
No, I too want the same thing. If he succeeds, we're in trouble. Too right. How's the old saying go? If you want something done properly, never get idiots to do it for you?
Oi, Trevor! I know, Diesel. Colin found Thumper. The farmers are on their way. Tell him thank you.
Yeah, I'll do just that. So, you're the mangy beast that sent Colin flying, are you? Bah! You're not dangerous at all, are you? Maybe it's best not to antagonize the beast, Diesel. Remember what you told Colin? That was before I knew this thing was as tame as a kitten. I'll bet it ain't too bright either. Are you, you smelly hunk of beef? Don't like that, do you? How do you like the idea of being turned into porterhouse? I think you've done it now, Diesel. Maybe I can... Ah! What did I say? What did you say? I'll belt up, Todd. At least no one else saw that. Was that? No. No, it couldn't be.
Thank you for helping out with Thumper, Diesel. I'll make sure the others hear all about it. Grrr! It really was luck that Toby happened to be coming back from Brendam at the precise moment the farmers learned where Thumper was. How our number 7 arrived in time to see Diesel run for his life. The farmers promptly picked up their wayward bull, with Toby dropping them all off at the vicarage. From there, they all returned to their farm. Toby couldn't tell the rest of us fast enough about Diesel's encounter, and we made sure to give him plenty of grief for the longest time. Now, you're probably wondering what Toby was doing on the Brendam branch in the first place. He was at the docks giving the middies a lecture on handling cattle trains. Why Toby? Because of all the engines on Sodor, he had the most experience handling livestock. 28 years experience to be exact, which he had acquired from the 28 years he served on his old railway, which was located in the northwestern corner of the island. And as we were in the middle of market season, Toby's wisdom was invaluable. But that's a story for another day.
We'll be right back on Nick. Now back to the show on Nick.
Spring is market season, a time when farmers need their livestock exported as quickly as possible. And every year on Sodor, these deliveries always overcrowd the rails, with the middies and nor'easters hard-pressed to complete these jobs in between our regular ones. 1938 was an absurdly bad year for Sodor's livestock thanks to an outbreak of foot and mouth disease. Old engines like me will never forget it, as trainloads of diseased cattle were quarantined seemingly every other day. Those trains that were infected were guarded by a customs agent waving a red flag, warning engines to stay away. And to ensure no engine or farmer tried to cheat this strict system, the Railway Board would send Senior Constable Joey to the island to oversee these operations. Through random inspections and spot checks, Joey kept Sodor's foot and mouth problem confined to the island. You had to get up pretty early in the morning to try and slip one by him.
If this keeps up, we may as well stop collecting these wretched cattle trucks.
Aye, I've never seen such a severe outbreak, and you've been around since before the advent of penicillin, Toby, judging by the sound of your boiler. What made this year especially rough was the presence of Burke and Blair, two inspectors from the LNER's head office. Busybodies, the pair of them, they were an unwelcome sight with their unwelcome advice. They constantly hounded Mr. Starr with their suggestions about making improvements to our operations, which agitated him to no end. And after a particularly scathing session with the pair, he was left in a ripe old state. I'm sorry to say that Thomas and Percy copped it from our director when they arrived late for a briefing. Oh dear, we're in trouble, Percy. It's not our fault, Thomas. It's not like we could have...
Briefing was at 6:30.
Sorry, Mr. Starr. We had a little problem with a goods train at Wellsworth.
You know, Burke and Blair mentioned you two this morning. Claimed you weren't pulling your weight. A claim I fiendishly rebuked.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, Percy. I'm now starting to wonder if I wasted my breath. If you two are late again, I'll ask them what should be done about it, and I may very well take their advice for once. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thomas, Toby's been having boiler problems again. He should be on the Farquhar branch by now delivering your train to the quarry. Go and see if he needs help. If he doesn't, meet up with Gordon at Lower Knapford and wait on any cattle trains to see if they've cleared quarantine.
Yes, sir. What about me, sir?
I want you on the loop. A source of mine claims David McCall's farm should be given the all clear later today.
Old Mongrel McCall, eh?
No wisecracks. Just be there to nab up his cattle if they are cleared.
Yes, sir.
Well, don't just stand there, you two. Get moving.
Right, sir. What do you think Burke and Blair would say if he did ask them for advice? I'd rather not find out. Trundling up the branch, Toby's boiler continued to give him grief. The wretched condition it was in was a sign of his age. At 59, he was the oldest engine in the Nor'easter's fleet, and I don't just mean on Sodor. And the only reason why his boiler had never been replaced was because Burke and Blair blocked every attempt to overhaul him, as the pair were convinced our number 7 was too old to still be working. And what would happen to him on this day did not help his cause. Just beyond the Tory Rex sawmill, a dirt road crosses over the tracks. By law, road vehicles are meant to give way at these points, but for every law, there is always someone willing to break it.
Ah, watch out, you fool! You meant to stop! Bug off, Steamy!
Toby's boiler didn't respond like he hoped. Instead of outright stopping, he instead went backwards. The sudden change of momentum caused his trucks to bang together sharply. Not only did this break a coupling, it also knocked the guard off his footplate. Oh no! The trucks were quick to pick up speed as they thundered down the line. I don't know if it was good or bad luck that the workmen at the sawmill were loading flatbeds at the time, that one of those loads spilled all over the tracks just as the runaway train came racing in. Ah, no, look at this! Cinders and ashes, Toby! What happened?
I got cut off by a lorry and my boiler played up when I tried to stop.
This is what happens when your boiler plays up? Crikey! Well, don't gawk! Call Mickey now! Right!
This is ridiculous. If I had a working boiler, I would have been able to stop, no worries. How many times have I told Mr. Starr that I need a new one? Come on, Toby. You know Burke and Blair are the reason why you don't. I guess. Still, why doesn't Starr just stand up to them? I can't wait to see how they'll react when they hear about this. Actually, on second thoughts, I can.
Starr won't be able to ignore this, will he, Mr. Burke?
No, he won't, Mr. Blair. He'll finally see that steam-powered cattle truck for the worthless antique that he is. Oh, Mr. Starr.
What?
Did you hear about Toby's accident on the branch?
So what if I have?
You must realize he is finished, wouldn't you say, Mr. Burke? Oh, yes, Mr. Blair. A relic like him needs to be retired from service instead of draining precious resources maintaining him.
That relic has been an invaluable resource in of himself. His contributions far outweigh any shortcomings he might have.
Not very fiscally responsible, is it, Mr. Burke? Oh, no, Mr. Blair. A more competent director would have no worries keeping his finances in check.
Well, until such a man is sitting in my place, I will continue to run this division as I see fit.
That can be arranged, Star. One word from us, and you'll enter retirement as fast as your precious number 7.
Threaten me again, and I'll have you inspect Gordon's undercarriage while he's pulling the express. Now, clear off!
Very well. Have a nice day.
What am I going to do about Toby?
The cleanup at the sawmill was swift, with the damaged articles loaded into Thomas's trucks. After giving his statement to Mickey, Toby and our number 1 set off towards Elsbridge. But the moment they reached the junction that turned onto the branch, they were accosted by Diesel and Lily. Nothing ever seemed to happen on Sodor without the middies turning up and being no help.
Well, what have we got here? A banged-up tram and some banged-up trucks. Another efficient nor'easter operation, eh? You nor'easter types really love flaunting your professionalism, don't you? Someone has to, since you lot clearly can't. Oh, defensive much? What happened, Toby? If you must know, I was cut off by a lorry.
A lorry? What? You couldn't stop in time?
No, I couldn't. That's what happens when you cross the threshold from old to ancient. If you ask me, you passed it, Toby. Well, no one's asking. I still have plenty of steam left to give Diesel. How do you know? Yes, I...
Look out! Mad Bull!
Where?
What the... Grr! I'll get you for that, old-timer.
Well done, Toby. That shut him up real good. My career will end on a very high note if it involves putting Diesel in his place. Diesel's spirits likely picked up at the thought Thomas and Toby might be too busy with their situation to be in competition for cattle deliveries. However, that would not be the case. When the pair arrived at Lower Knapford, everyone was still waiting. Where are the trucks? Still being inspected. I say, Toby, you look a little worse for wear.
I had a bit of an accident on the branch. A rather silly one by the sound of it. It wasn't my fault. It was that horrid lorry. If you say so. Oh, button it, Lily. To right. Here comes Joey. If you lot were hoping to pick up cattle trains, you can forget it. They're quarantined.
Oh, what?
Come on. Afraid so. Foot and mouth has been found among this lot, so they'll need to be disposed of. Sorry, folks. Better luck next time. Mr. Starr will be pleased when he hears about this, I don't think. And I thrashed my boiler to get here quickly.
A futile effort, it seems.
What do we do now, Diesel? Well, you head on back to Brendam. I need to pick up a train at Carlton, so I'll take the loop to get there. Do you need me to come with you? No, I'll manage. It just has to go to Tidmouth. I'll see you later, Lily.
All right. See you. Now, what's he up to? Isn't it obvious? McCall's farm is along the loop, and it's meant to clear quarantine today. Percy's meant to be doing that job. You think Diesel will try and take it from him? Of course he would, the villain. Who would be there to stop him?
We would, and we will. Come on, Thomas. You and I best go ensure fair play. Right with you, Toby.
Little engines. Always trying to act the hero. Well, there it is. Mongrel McCall's farm and... Oh, bother! Red flag? It's still in quarantine, so... Hang about. That's strange. Green flag? So... It has been cleared? All right. I don't know.
Hey, you! I name me cattle taken.
Oh,
Come on, you gonna take him or not?
Oh, no, Mr. Mongrel. I mean, Mr. McCall. I, have to collect another train first, so, I'll come back for this lot later. Sorry, gotta dash. Bye.
Not touching that lot. Unclean. Ugh. Oi, Percy, what are you doing out here?
Oh, just, working, Diesel?
Secret work. Secret, eh? Let me guess. You went to Mongrel McCall's farm and found it still in quarantine. Now what's secret about that?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be a secret now, would it?
Oi, Percy!
You alright? You look a little bothered. Not bothered, confused. I was near McCall's farm and there was a red flag.
You didn't get near it, I hope.
Well, I was tempted, especially after a green flag went up, but...
Green flag? So it has been cleared. That's your secret, eh? Right, that job's mine.
No, not if I get there first.
Wait, Thomas, stop! Stop!
Goodness! Murray, are you alright?
I'm fine. Oh, crikey. I better take a look at things back here.
Blimey, Toby! Look what you've gone and done to yourself!
Never mind about that.
What were you thinking? I was trying to stop Diesel from nicking one of our jobs, even a job that could have gotten you shunted. If you're talking about the flag, Percy said it went from red to green, so it's safe. That is what you said, right, Percy? Yes. He also said, but. How are you going to end that statement, Percy? Well, just before the customs officer changed over his flag, McCall walked up to him and...
What?
I saw them shake hands.
You see, Thomas, my guess is McCall bribed the agent to give his cattle the all clear.
I'll bust my buffers. McCall, you mongrel! Thanks for stopping me then, Toby. Don't mention it. I wish you hadn't wrecked your boiler in order to do it, though. We don't know that it is wrecked, Thomas.
Yes, we do. I'm sorry, old boy, but it's gone.
I shouldn't be surprised. Oh, no, Toby, this is very serious. I know. But there's not much we can do about it. I guess it's retirement for me now. No chance. Let's drag you back to Knapford and talk to Mr. Starr about it. It's not Starr I'm worried about.
Afternoon, Mr. McCall. What do you want? Are you here to not take me cattle? Of course not. The LMS would never desert a client. I'd be more than happy to take your cattle wherever they need to go. Good. Take them to the mainland and give it some stick. Of course. Eat my exhaust nor'easters.
Broken down again? My boiler's only good for scrap, Mr. Starr. It has been for a long time.
You're right there.
Can we do anything about it, sir?
Like what? Burke and Blair won't authorise a replacement. The only place he's likely to get one will be on a heritage railway. I'm sorry, Toby, but if you're to get that new boiler, I'll have to retire you.
Yes, sir. But, sir, that's not fair. The only reason it clonked out this time was because Toby saved me from breaking quarantine.
I'm sorry, but it's out of my hands. Like I said, Toby will... Wait, what did you just say about quarantine, Thomas?
I nearly picked up some cattle from McCall's farm. Toby thinks the customs agent there might have been bribed.
And this is based on what?
I saw a curious exchange between the two when I tried to pick up his cattle, sir. So you see, sir, Toby's the reason why Joey's not going to shunt me.
Stop going on about it, Thomas. Yes, please, you're bringing me to tears.
Honestly, sir, you've got to believe us. We're only reporting the facts.
Yes, but it's one side of the facts, isn't it?
Oh, Mr. Starr, we have delightful news, don't we, Mr. Burke? Indeed we do, Mr. Blair.
You're leaving the island and never coming back?
No, but Toby will be.
What do you want about?
We've just arranged for a lovely heritage railway in southern Wales to take him. They'll give him a proper home and essential repairs. He can have both here. Not an hour shilling he won't. You should be thanking us, Starr, for getting this liability off your hands.
Mr. Starr?
Toby, is this what you want?
Sir?
You've been serving on railways for nearly 60 years. That's a praiseworthy effort. Maybe even one that is worthy of retirement. But is that what you want?
Well,
If I had the choice, sir, then no, it isn't. Then that settles it. Thomas, take Toby to the works immediately for a complete overhaul. What, sir? An overhaul, sir? New boiler, new planking, new fittings. Why not a fresh coat of paint to go with it? Oh, thank you, sir. Wait a moment. Head office won't authorize this. I'm not asking for their permission or yours. Like I said, until someone else takes my place, I will run this division as I see fit.
Well, fine. If that's your attitude, you can explain it to the board of directors. See if we care.
Oh, thank you, sir. You won't regret this. No, Toby, I don't think I will. Go on, Thomas. Get Toby out of here. Right away, sir. Percy, get on with your scrap runs. We need to be able to pay for this.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Oi! What's this then? McCall, your farm is still under quarantine. Where's your assigned agent? Perkins? Perkins, what's going on? You're on the take, aren't you? I knew it! Do your thing, lads. We got a runner!
Okay. Since I'm in the way, I'll just clear off and...
Oh no, you don't, Diesel. I saw you approach those trucks with clear intent to deliver them.
That's not my fault. There was no red flag. You saw it yourself.
Given your past actions, Diesel, nothing would surprise me. Until I can ascertain your innocence or guilt, you're not going anywhere. No whining. And don't you even think of trying to slip away. Keep a good eye on him until I get back, lads.
Thanks a lot, McCall, you mongrel. I need me cattle taken.
Our worst luck that Joey would absolve Diesel of any wrongdoing, but Mr. Zorro wouldn't, especially given that the police engine would keep a close watch on the middies for the rest of the season. Toby's overhaul was completed without a hitch. Our number 7 was revitalized by this, going on to service Sodor's railways for decades to come. Mr. Starr never would regret ordering the overhaul. Unfortunately, his acting without the board's approval would have repercussions. But that's a story for another day. In all my years, I have noticed two things about railway life. Nobody can resist watching either coaches or trucks. I doubt very much it could, or would it? Like us engines, rolling stock comes in faceless and non-faceless categories. And whenever we have to marshal a train, we try to staff it with non-faceless carriages, as they are able to apply their own brakes. This obviously makes for a much safer train. It should come as no surprise that trucks make up the vast majority of non-faceless carriages when compared to coaches. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure Annie and Clarabelle were the only non-faceless coaches. At least on the standard gauge lines. The narrow gauge railways were a different matter. As it is with non-faceless engines, this seems to be an inexplicable chance occurrence.
Really? It doesn't bother you?
Of course not. Why would it?
It's just, ever since A Tisket A Tasket came out, it's been everywhere. I can't go by a single station without hearing it come through the wireless, and never mind the number of workmen who hum along to that song. I quite like Ella Fitzgerald, and I can't help but join in whenever a passenger starts singing. That's what I'm saying. People are sitting inside of you when they sing. That'd drive me balmy. I don't get how it doesn't drive you off the rails.
Well, for one, I'd prefer to stay on the rails where possible. But the second reason is far more important.
Which is what?
That the best way to service our passengers is through tolerance.
Exactly. It wouldn't do us any good if I told a passenger to shut up, now would it?
I guess not.
Have you never pulled a passenger train, Eric?
No. I've always stuck to goods work. But I've wanted to.
I reckon you should, Eric. You'd be pretty good at it.
Really? You think so?
I do. Big friendly lad like yourself, the passengers would gravitate towards you no problem.
Oh, well. Thank you, Douglas.
No worries. Well, I best be on my way. So long. Now isn't this interesting? A pile of rusty red scrap iron has crawled out of my trucks.
I'm glad I ran into you, Douglas. Mickey's looking for you. Another signal box got smashed up, and he wants to know if you had anything to do with it.
No, I didn't. But when I see him, I'll tell him it'll be as good as new after applying a few bootlaces.
Alright, Mitty, you crossed a line.
I crossed a line. You've got some nerve.
Oh, push off, you Caledonian git.
Get scrapped, you pompous firebug.
Clear off, you. Blimey, what is with those two?
I'm surprised you don't know, Eric. Have you never asked?
I've wanted to, but every time I do, something tells me that I shouldn't. Do you know?
I do. You want to hear it?
Not sure. Do I?
It's nothing like the story of Arthur, Eric. It's far more It wasn't long before Percy joined your group. Douglas accidentally crashed into a signal box at Tidmouth thanks to some grease being on the tracks. Although it wasn't his fault, that didn't stop James from tormenting him about it. A couple of weeks later, he got into an accident himself near Marin. After that, it was Douglas's turn to heap on the scorn, and the pair have been at each other like a couple of mangy dogs ever since.
Phew, that's not petty, Duke. That's just pathetic.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me for interrupting, Duke, but I require the company of these lovely ladies for a most important job. Oh, Andreas, you charmer.
Express run to Arsdale?
Indeed, a most important job that serves as the cornerstone for our quaint little line. Now, if James could pry himself away from his childish squabble to deposit my passengers, that would make the situation all the more agreeable. Well, James, so nice of you to join us.
Oh, don't start, Andreas. I am not in the mood.
Not in the mood to do your job? Yes, that is apparent. If you were, you would have been on time.
3 minutes, Andreas. That's how late I am. It's hardly the end of the world.
And why were you late? Because you chose to stay and bicker with Douglas about some petty grievances.
In case you didn't notice,
I don't have time to discuss this with you. I'm running late as it is. I will need to press myself hard to meet my timetable. Observe how a professional acts, James.
Cool. Express engines. Big or small, they're all the same.
That wasn't just a snide remark from our number 5. Andreas was the express engine for the Mid-Sodor Railway, a designation packed with the usual expectations, responsibilities, and hubris. Of course, he was nowhere near as fast as Gordon, but by all accounts, he was just as reliable when it came to delivering passengers about the rugged territory through which the MSR weaved. Ooh! Rebecca! What's wrong? One of the passengers! He just put out his cigarette in one of my chairs! He what? The cad! You must point him out to me when we reach Arsdale, Rebecca. I intend to have a few choice words with him. Afternoon, Andreas. You look rather put out. Did Stuart cut you off again? No, Atlas. Even worse. Some upstart passenger has assaulted poor Rebecca. Assaulted? How? Please, Andreas, don't fuss. I'm fine. Nonsense. Nobody has the right to use my friends as an ashtray. Well, Rebecca, where is he? Look, he's probably... Wait, that's him, the man in the black coat. I say, sir, might I have a moment of your time? What is it? Did you extinguish a cigarette by thrusting it into the seat of one of my coaches? So what if I did? I would like to inform you that this careless action caused great pain to the hosting coach. I would appreciate it if you apologize to her immediately. There'll be a man on the moon before I ever apologize to a blue-painted cattle truck. Excuse me, sir. Andreas, leave it. I am giving you one last chance. Apologize or face the consequences. Are you threatening me? What can you possibly do? This. This was a brand new suit.
Oh, I am sorry, sir. You will be. I promise. You will be.
Andreas, you shouldn't have done that.
Was I wrong to do it?
No, I don't think you were.
Well, I know you were. Still, thank you, Andreas. My pleasure.
I'm sorry to say there would be ramifications to Andreas's actions, as the man he doused turned out to be Burke, as in Burke and Blair. He went straight to the MSR's director, who promptly punished his express engine by sticking him on indefinite goods duties. But it didn't end there. Using this assault on his person, that weasel Burke and his partner managed to manipulate the LNER's board into launching an investigation into its operations on Sodor. We had inspectors crawling about the place, questioning us over every single train we had ever taken and tabulating any losses that were incurred. Toby's unauthorized overhaul was determined to be a great loss to the company's finances, which imperiled Mr. Starr's position greatly.
Blooming bean counters! They've got some nerve questioning our efficiency. I know. Never mind the fact we handle more trains with less engines than any other branch in the LNER. Why don't they take that into account? Because desk jockeys only see the world through the numbers in their ledgers. Well, they should be able to see that I'm one very irritated engine. And that Burke, grr, he got what he deserved. You know, I just realised something. What was he even doing on the Mid-Sodor Railway? That's a good question. And I might have the answer, lads. Rodney? How do you mean? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting near the station minding my own business when I heard Burke talking to a woman. Quite intimately, in fact. Is he married? My guess is he's forgotten that. At least while he's here on Sodor. Well, that'll come in handy. I did not just hear you say that. What? Burke and Blair have never been above using blackmail. That doesn't make it right for us to use it. So what? We just sit on this information? We can't prove it. Even if we could, yes, we stand mum. Why? Because if we do blackmail Burke, we're admitting guilt. And we've done nothing wrong. Have we? No, we haven't. Good. Now, I don't want to hear another word of this. And I don't want you to get any ideas, Thomas. Understood? Yeah, Edward, I got it. You old fusspot. He does have a point, Thomas. 2 wrongs don't make a right. I know. Still, I can't help but wonder what would happen if we did say something. We didn't have to wonder for very long, I'm sorry to say, as the matter was taken out of our hands. Rodney wasn't able to keep his mouth shut and blabbed about Burke's encounter every chance he got. The rumour mill took care of the rest, the details finding their way back to the inspectors and the press. To this day, I'm still conflicted about the end results. With Burke's character thrown into question, the integrity of the board's investigation was compromised. However, Mr. Starr was still issued a light reprimand. Thankfully, he retained his position as our director. Not long afterwards, the inspectors left in the company of Burke and Blair. I'm pleased to say this was the last time we ever saw the pair of them. Burke hit the skids following a nasty divorce from his wife, and Blair, well, we never did find out what happened to him. This will likely come as a surprise given Rodney's behaviour and the many instances depicted in books and on the television, but trucks are not in fact troublesome. Granted, there have been a few occasions in my stories where they have teased an engine, but that was about as serious as it got. As I said, non-faceless rolling stock can apply their own brakes, but that's all they can do. Never at any point have they ever been fitted with a means of propulsion. No engines, no pistons, no boilers. This obviously means they certainly can't bump us, and even if they could, they wouldn't. I mean, why would they want to cause an accident, given that, compared to engines, they're the ones most likely to be destroyed in a crash? If you were to wander around a railway scrapyard, you'll find much of the detritus there comes from demolished rolling stock. However, like all stereotypes, they stem from the actions of a disagreeable minority. In this context, I'm talking about trucks that were seemingly built with disagreeable or defiant personalities. At this time, probably the worst offender was a vainglorious brake van named Dominic. He complained bitterly about feeling unappreciated and would take out his frustration on whatever engine was unlucky enough to be paired with him. He did this by not fully releasing his brakes, causing the engine to pull their train at a crawl. One day, he and Douglas got into a vicious row. After that,
Dominic developed an acute dislike for the Middies number 10 and gave him no end of grief. Probably the worst instance of this was when Douglas had to deliver a vital shipment of coal to Brendam, one that was intended not just to refuel his crew, but the many ships that were in port at the time. Because of Dominic, he arrived late. This caused all manner of chaos about the docks. The captains took out their frustration on Mr. Zorro, who redirected it onto Douglas. For Donald, this was the last straw, as he couldn't stand the idea of his twin being blamed for the actions of a spiteful brake van. "You're a muckle nuisance! It's to leave you behind I'd be wanting. You can't. I'm essential. Ah, car ya! You're nothing but a screech and a noise when all's said and done. Spike Dougie, will ya? Take that! Oh, ow, 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 ow! And there's more coming, should you misbehave. Oh, no, there won't be. Mickey, what are you doing here? The question is, what are you doing? Assaulting rolling stock is a very serious offence, Donald. This Pratt has been giving my brother all manner of grief, and how is biffing him going to change that? He might stop doing it in future. Will you, Dominic? Well, See, Donald, if it had worked, he would have answered with a resounding yes. Dominic, are you alright? Will you need to go to the works after this? No, Chief. I'm fine. Good, because after I report this to Joey, you and I are going to have a few stern words. Joey was informed and charges were filed. For his crime, Donald was shunted for 2 whole weeks, during which time Douglas ripped into his brother rightly. Mickey and Dominic had a long talk afterwards. Whatever was said, the brake van behaved much better from then on. He and Douglas stayed apart for a good long time, until the day when James had to deliver some coal to the mainland. Our number 5 wasn't feeling too well and struggled along the main line before he was forced to stop at Wellsworth. Goodness, James, are you alright?
What do you care?
Alright, sorry for asking. I'll hie myself out of here then.
No, wait. Listen, Douglas, could you help me up the hill, please?
Did I hear that right? Are you asking me for help?
Douglas, please. This is hard enough as it is.
Alright, laddie, I'll give you a push.
Thank you.
Oh, hello, Dominic. Are we going to have a problem today? No, Douglas, no problems. Glad to hear.
You sat back there?
Aye, let's go. Amazingly, the pair worked remarkably well together and made good progress towards the hill. But all that changed when they began to climb it. James did his best, but his condition meant that Douglas had to do most of the work. That was how it happened. Oh, what is it? Take it easy, I'm getting squished here. I thought you said we weren't going to have a problem. Douglas, I'm breaking apart. Please stop. Hogwash, you'll be fine. Stop complaining and... Goodness! Douglas! What happened? I just smashed up Dominic.
What?
What do you mean smashed up? I mean, he's in splinters. Reduced to kindling. Bust my buffers. I killed him.
Alright, let's not panic.
James! I killed him! I'm sorry to say that he did. Dominic's body was smashed to pieces, which did effectively end his life. Mickey and Joey arrived swiftly at the scene to conduct their investigation, ordering James and Douglas to wait at Marin until they were done. He said he was breaking apart. He begged me to stop. I told him to shut it. Why didn't I listen?
It's not your fault, Douglas. I wasn't pulling hard enough.
Maybe I was pushing too hard. I guess we'll never know. Alright, we're all done on the hill. James, you're free to go. But since I can't let you carry on without a brake van, I'll run at the rear of your train.
Yes, Chief. What about Douglas?
He has to stay put. I need to ask him a few questions. Yes, Constable.
Good luck, Douglas.
Thanks, James. Now, Douglas, I understand you and the deceased have a rather nasty history. As you can tell by that question, the senior constable put Douglas through the ringer, and while he would be exonerated, that didn't stop a number of Dominic's friends from chastising the middy's number 10, calling him a murderer, and worse. Though most of the trucks and his colleagues were very supportive, for the longest time, Douglas was addled by the grief of destroying that spiteful brakeman. Maybe that was a good thing. After all, only a monster wouldn't feel guilty.